Hello, friends. This is Mac Payne here. I am the founder, owner, and operator of the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast. I come to you today with big news in this video, and that is I have just published another podcast episode that you've got to listen to. This is episode 3221, and it is a follow-up to the previous episode, 3220, where I told you about our repatriation ceremony in Laos, where the Laotian government was passing to American representatives the remains or possible remains of MIAs from the Vietnam War. We had numerous in Laos due to several factors there. One was international politics, another was geography. We were not even supposed to be in Laos during the Vietnam War because it had been declared a neutral country by the Paris agreements. But guess what? Communists are not very reliable people. They will lie and cheat and do whatever it takes for them to achieve their goals. One of the mottos of communism is that the ends justify the means. That means you can do anything if it will justify what you're trying to do. That includes killing millions of your own people. That's who we were against in the Vietnam War. Laos was a dangerous place for American pilots because we weren't supposed to be there. So if an aircraft went down in Laos, we couldn't go in and get it legally. Also, the terrain in Laos is rough. During Operation Lam Son 719, I flew an ARA Cobra gunship with the 101st Airborne Division while we were supporting the South Vietnamese Army as they invaded Laos, trying to break the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which is a very difficult thing to do. That country was rough, I'll guarantee you. Luckily, I never landed on it, thank goodness, but I flew over it a lot and saw it. That was something else that made it very difficult to find MIAs in Laos because of the terrain. That was brought out in the previous episode where they were talking about the DPAA, the government organization that is looking for MIA remains. It is a tough job. In the previous episode, it was pointed out that when the Vietnam War ended and we pulled up stakes and went home, there were 576 MIAs in Laos. Since that time, 295 have been located. Doing a little basic math will tell you there are still 281 MIAs who have not been located. In this episode, I have another story about the MIA situation. I'm doing that to put as much attention on it as possible because we can never forget our MIAs and we must do everything possible to locate their remains. Or maybe even, who knows, you might find a live MIA out there somewhere. You just have to keep looking. We can never cease looking for the MIAs. It might be easy to assume that the only people who are looking for MIAs over there in Laos are people with the DPAA, the government people, because they have an agreement with the country of Laos and they have to abide by certain conditions and so forth. But there are others out there looking for MIA remains. That is what is going to be covered in this latest podcast episode, number 3221. In that podcast, I'm going to tell you all about what the University of Illinois, Chicago is doing to help in the crusade of finding all our MIAs. In the story I'm going to share with you, WTTW PBS TV in Chicago talks about what the University of Illinois, Chicago is doing to help locate the MIAs. It's a wonderful thing. They have a department up there in that university called the Department of Behavioral Sciences. They have a section in there called the Center for Recovery and Identification of the Missing, better known as CRIM. Here we have two organizations looking for the MIAs, the government program of the DPAA and the University of Illinois Chicago program called CRIM. In the article I'm going to share with you, where it talks about what they've done, one of the things they mention is Lima Site 58. Lima Site was one of those things I often wondered about. What were they thinking in Vietnam? You know, the higher ups, the people that would make these decisions. What Lima Site 58 was a high mountaintop in northern Laos. The smart guys who make these decisions decided it would be a good idea to put some of our most sophisticated radar equipment on this isolated mountaintop in northern Laos to monitor traffic on the Ho Chi Minh Trail and other things. Now keep in mind, Lima Site 58 was in northern Laos, which is up near North Vietnam and China. Being a Vietnam veteran, I already know it. But anytime something would get in the area controlled by the NBA and they didn't like it, they would go after it and do their best to get rid of it. So at Lima Site 58, they had about 15 Air Force personnel, highly trained technical personnel, way up on this isolated mountain in northern Laos. Guess what happened? You know what happened. The NBA came in, attacked it, and killed just about everybody on the site. Due to the geography of the area, when somebody would get killed on Lima Site 58 and fall over, they would go down maybe about 6,000 feet. And it was very difficult to locate any survivors or the remains of any of them. The people at the CRIM office at University of Illinois in Chicago, they decided, we're going there and we are going to find some of these, which they did. That's going to be discussed in the program and other things. But it is a very interesting story I'm sharing with you on that episode, and I really encourage you to listen to it because it will help you appreciate what we are doing to find our MIAs. And the other thing I'm trying to do is to keep you aware of it and help you to be more willing to support these efforts. It's something we must do. So please do me and yourself a favor. Go over and listen to my podcast, episode 3221. It's quite easy to do. All you've got to do is go down below this 1965 vintage Philco TV set in the detail portion, and there will be a link there. You can click on it, go straight to the website and the episode, and you can start listening to it and learn more about what's being done to locate our brave MIAs who did not come home. And there are still many families out there, heartbroken, that need something to bring them closure for their loved ones. We have to do it. So let's all get together and continue this effort. That is the message of this video. Thank you for listening. And now you can go over and listen to the episode. If you run into a problem locating the link down below this TV set, no worries. All you've got to do is go to Vietnam Veteran News Podcast. Click on that. It'll take you straight to the podcast website. Click on episode 3221, and you can be listening immediately. So with that in mind, I'm calling a close to this video. Thank you very much for listening, and we wish you the best. We'll talk soon.